let's start. So once again, good afternoon, friends. Okay, thanks for joining. So this in Angular series, this is the second session. The first session just we see very top level. So about Angular. So today, the especially we are going to see for TypeScript because this is a programming language for Angular. Okay, so if you go for ASP.NET, so C# is a programming language, right? So Angular, this is a programming language. TypeScript is a programming language. So we are going to cover what is needed for the programming for Angular that we are going to cover. Mostly we will cover everything from TypeScript perspective. And first of all, let's before starting, why we need learn the TypeScript. So because JavaScript, direct JavaScript also we can write, we can use in any JavaScript framework, even React, Angular, Vue, directly we can use, no question about that. But why we are learning, why we need this TypeScript, that we are going to see. In this session, we are going to learn TypeScript, obviously. But before that, so we need to understand why suddenly TypeScript came to the picture. So you know, the TypeScript is superset of JavaScript, so all you know. But then why it came? So what is the issue with the JavaScript? Okay, that and all we are going to discuss about that. So this vision would be very useful while we typing code in Angular application. So that understanding. So just we are making strong our basics. That's why we have these two sessions. The last one and this session will be the basic. So after that only we are going to cover some deeper understanding about the Angular, each and every building block. From next session onwards, directly we will start with Angular. So next session in Angular, what are all the basic building blocks that we are going to see, all the building blocks. Then we will go deeper one by one. Okay. So the first, let's see the introduction about the TypeScript. So TypeScript is object-oriented JavaScript. Okay, so let go for move before actually in the JavaScript, maybe 25 years before and all, the Netscape Navigator, Internet Explorer, that and all very old browser, right? Actually, in that time, so if you ask me, so when I started that my web career in 1999, in that time only I started. That time, the worldwide people are using Java. So the actually desktop applications, Java, Power Builder, Visual Basic, this and all, the desktop application. Fox Pro, if you go move actually before that and all, you can see that is very old things and all. So after that, the people realized, the company realized the usage of the internet application. So in Windows application, what happens? So if you have any issue or if you develop any software, you need to install physically. You need to go physically and install in the each and every system. If you add more feature or fixing some bug, again you need to go by CD or what is called actually pen drive.
Flash, floppy disk.
Yeah, floppy actually. That and all people used for that one. So that is very painful. After that only it came actually. ASP, JSP kind of web application came from Microsoft and Sun Microsystem, the Java. So like that time, the in front end side JavaScript. That time only I heard this the pine where this JavaScript it came actually. You know, for one particular web page, what are all the key things are needed? HTML, CSS, JavaScript. HTML is the data. CSS is how we are going to present the data. JavaScript is that, so do the validation and send the data to server and get the data. So these are all the things, right? So JavaScript actually had been written for only handling the client side, only handling the browser. So that's why they haven't added more feature on that. So initially I thought that okay, this is advanced for Java kind of things. But if you compare Java and JavaScript, JavaScript is nothing. So what I am trying to say now, so JavaScript actually had been written to validate something. in maybe in the registration page, first name, last name, email, phone number, date of birth, this and all. If user leaves that particular field empty, how we are going to validate that one? Whether he has written any data, add any data, or age means we should not allow any character over there. Okay, so that and all for this validation purpose, JavaScript was written. So do we need oops and all for that purpose? Nothing, right? So we are going to check the length. Okay, so and whether it is a number or character, the maximum thing, validate the date. So purely for validation purpose only JavaScript was written. Okay. So it went, everything's okay. So up to even 10 years back for ASP and JSP so application and all, it was like that only. There is no much change. If you check your JavaScript version in actually in wiki page, you cannot find often the new releases in JavaScript. Actually, things changed when people thought about the client-side rendering, so client-side application. So last class we see what is the difference between client-side and server-side rendering, right? So they people think to write application in client-side. That time they need to handle everything here itself. Okay, that's why they added more object-oriented thing. Actually, in that's why in interview and all people mostly in JavaScript related interview they will ask about the ES6. That is the key version. You can divide JavaScript into two based on ES6. Before that and all, there is no much addition. But after ES6 and above versions, they have added a lot of things. Asynchronous programming, everything they have added. Okay, so okay, let's come to this area. Okay, JavaScript they had a version. That's what is that? Okay, that is working fine, right? Why don't you use even in Angular JS? Actually, in Angular JS introduced in 2010, I think. So up to 2016, 6 years, everything went well. But after the 2016 only, actually they introduced the Angular 2, the complete rewrite. So why they used instead of they replaced the TypeScript instead of JavaScript? That and all I can explain now, but you cannot understand that much. While we seeing the lesson, I write some code, creating some class, and transpile into JavaScript. Let's compare the codes, what you have written in TypeScript and how it has been transpiled to JavaScript. So if you try to write the same code in JavaScript, how you will feel the difficulties and that. So that we are going to see live. Okay, finally we will conclude what is the difference and that. So only one thing you have in JavaScript, everything is the function based. In TypeScript or any object oriented thing, that is all are class based, right? So that is only different you have it mind now. Let's move the next point. So open source and cross platform or cross browser, it will work, and it is superset of JavaScript and compiled to JavaScript. So even though you write any code in TypeScript, finally it should be transpiled to JavaScript because browser can only understand that code only. Okay, so it is used to develop uh, client-side application as well as server-side application. So as I said earlier, JavaScript only for client-side application. Okay, but now client server-side application also we can develop. Can you mention any server-side applications for server-side technology for JavaScript? Node.js, exactly. Node.js, the environment actually purely JavaScript only. That's why the meme stack and all they will go for everything JavaScript, right? Angular or React. So and Express.js, Node.js, that are all fully based on the JavaScript. Okay, so for server side also we can use JavaScript. Even in Node.js we will use only TypeScript. Okay, and we can use JavaScript also, but for our convenience we will use TypeScript only. And it is developed. Actually, it was developed by Microsoft, and in 2012, latest version is 5.4.4. So if you wait another 15 days, it will come 5.4.6 or 7. So keep on, it is coming based on the new fixes and the new features. Let's move to next screen. So let me try to explain about why TypeScript instead of JavaScript, but in on fly we will see the differences. It's an object-oriented thing. It supports interface, class, encapsulations, and method overloading, all those things. In JavaScript, that is not at all supported because everything is a function-based. And this is a superset of JavaScript. But in TypeScript, you can write all the JavaScript directly, but that is not needed. Okay, and we can rewrite module gradually. So if you have four modules, in one module all are in JavaScript means you can try one module for TypeScript. So gradually we can move one by one. So that's why I am trying to say. And as you know, actually this is an Angular 2 written in TypeScript majorly. Last class we saw actually more than 80% code written in TypeScript only. And this is JavaScript is powerful, but there is a very complex to write. Let's see in the 2 minutes. And TS makes very simple. That also we are going to see. TypeScript works with all the JavaScript framework. Okay, so JavaScript, Angular, React, Vue, Node, even jQuery, but jQuery is not recommended, people will say. But if you want to use, you can use with jQuery too. Okay. Okay, let's go to next session. Next slide. Okay, similarities. Actually, what are all the similarities? All the basic things, the loops, statements, built-in function, array, operators, what are all available in JavaScript, 100% we can use in TypeScript. That is the similarity. And what are the main features? Normally, those not available in TypeScript means first one already seen. So data types, some new data types actually introduced. Because actually internally in JavaScript having string, number, everything, but dynamically it will assign that data type to variable. So in JavaScript, you need not tell any type to one variable. If you assign number means after that it will only accept the number. So dynamically based on assigned value, it changes its data type. So that is JavaScript. In TypeScript, in other object-oriented programming language, in C# and all, actually explicitly we are telling the types, right? Like that we are going to write. So if you are familiar with at least one object-oriented programming language, directly you can write TS code. Okay, so it has the class with constructor, so access modifier. If you see the other list and all are available in C# or PHP or Python, everything object-oriented programming language, you can see that one. So all are available here too. And what are all the requirements for TypeScript? So if you run the TypeScript, TypeScript the file, if you write the program in TypeScript means what we need. First of all, Node.js. So as I explained the first session, so Node.js creates environment for JavaScript related technologies. That may be a TypeScript or Angular, any other thing. So that is a primary thing. And we need to install in our system TypeScript actually. Since you installed the Node.js first, the npm available now. npm install TypeScript globally. So if you mention only TypeScript, it will it will install latest the package, the TypeScript version it will install. Okay, second one is to check the version. So you don't know what is the version. So now 5.4.4 is the latest version, right? It will display. So to know the version, this is a command. Okay, so ID is about mostly we use the Visual Studio Code, so you can use that one. Okay, okay. Now only we are going to start our TypeScript project. Okay, let's go to command prompt. Okay, create one more directory for TypeScript demo. Okay. Command prompt. Code dot means it will open the Visual Studio Code with the current uh, folder. Okay, so now we successfully opened file. Okay, this is a very empty project. We don't have any file. Only we have folder. TS demo is a folder. So we can add here. Okay, so we can add file, new file. Okay, so let's type. Okay. Okay, so we have created one empty TypeScript file. Let's console some message. Okay. I assume that all you know JavaScript, then only it will be very familiar in this session, at least basic knowledge of JavaScript, because throughout the session, I am going to compare with JavaScript, how we are writing in JavaScript, TypeScript, how the code will be transferred to JavaScript. That and all we are going to see file by file. Okay, so I am typing some message. So just two lines of code. One is the one invariable we're assigning some welcome message, and we are showing that message to console. So that is the thing. To execute, we need to open the new terminal, and we need to okay. We need to actually compile this file. Okay, TSC TypeScript compiler. So this is a command, and the file name we need to give. What is our file name? Welcome. Okay. So now you can see in the left panel, we have only one file. So after compilation, so see JavaScript trans file. So all we know, so whatever you write in TypeScript, that should be transferred to JavaScript. Why JavaScript? The browser can only understand JavaScript, right? So if you see the code, let's compare this code. Here only changes where, right? Here we have given let. So in after in 2 to 3 slides, we will see what is let and all for comparison purpose. I will show. There is no much change here. When we go for more program, we can see more differences. So here we have only one variable, that is where means so variable. It tells the compiler this is a variable and showing this. There is no much thing. So actually why I am written this welcome this, that is a simple one TypeScript file we have written. We learned that how to compile that file. Okay. Then still we haven't shown that message, right? So to show the message, we need to give node. Node again welcome. The file name we need to give. Okay, so this will execute our JavaScript. So TSC is a compiler. Compile TypeScript file to JavaScript. Node is an environment, right? It runs our, so node is an engine actually. Node runs our JavaScript file. Okay. So this is the difference between TSC and node. Actually, in our application or any other in React or Vue and all, we have the TSC node and all inbuilt, already inbuilt. That's why when you write the Angular function, Angular code and all, we don't know. We have written more code on Angular, but you don't know about the TSC node and all because internally they have built. If you ng build means the ng build is the command to build our Angular application. So if you give ng build, internally this the TSC file compile all your TypeScript file and compile into JavaScript file. Okay, so when you run the program, the node file will execute our code. Okay, so this are all inbuilt, but when you try outside of the code, it is showing we are doing this progress. Okay, okay, this is the first program. Okay, second one. So data type.
James, I have a question on this one.
Yeah,
Could you please go to that Visual Studio Code?
sure.
Yeah. So here we are in the TS file. So we are declared the message as a let, correct? But when you are compiled, it will compile the message is going to as a variable. So is that correct, sir? Could you please tell me why it is converted to variable instead of let? Because so in the variable declarations we have a let and where const, correct? So everyone act different scenarios. So if the variable is when we are compiled, let is converted into variable means, so it is why it is converted like this.
Actually, in JavaScript, we don't have this let and other variable type and all. Okay.
No, so we have.
Let we can use.
Yeah, we can use, but
Mostly.
so when we actually the compiler normally it will compile into where, because when we have scope, then only it will have. Otherwise it will convert to the direct this only. Actually, in after maybe next slide we have differences between let, const and where. So that time we will evaluate more. Okay, Jay.
Okay, sure. Okay. Yeah.
I think the next we have this one. So let's complete this thing. Okay. In data types, as I said earlier, in JavaScript, actually there are data types. Actually, string, number, boolean, and all. But dynamically it assigned. Explicitly, we cannot say there. But in TypeScript, actually, we need to tell explicitly. Otherwise, TS lint, if you install the TS lint, that and all, it will show error. And moreover, that is a discipline. So we need to explicitly, we need to tell the things. Okay, so we will explain, we will type this code and execute the code. And finally, we will see in JavaScript how it has been transferred. Okay. So let's go to demo here. Actually, I have code. I am going to copy those code and paste here. Okay, paste here. So automatically. Okay. So here data type, or actually what we have seen in presentation, same thing we are available here. So in JavaScript, you need to write the code like this. Okay. But in TypeScript, so for here, so I remove that comments, see the difference. Okay. And then we make comment listen. Otherwise, it will say duplicate. So dynamically assign the data type here. So when you assign thin, so hereafter tags that variable will be in number. If you try to assign some string here or some boolean, it will throw error. So it's a string is not assignable. So JavaScript dynamically assigns based on its value, it assigns. But this is confusion, right? So when developer seeing this code, I don't know which type this and all. So here in the next line itself, we are seeing that difference. Sometimes when you write the program in big code, so after 10 lines, if you use the same variable, means it will create a lot of confusion, debugging and all. It's a very difficulties. But in TypeScript, actually, so while we writing the code itself, we need to tell the type. So it is very clear to developer. Okay, so now I execute this code and see the difference. TSC. Okay, let's see the type here. See, whatever actually in here I have used the let and data type here, but while it transpiled, what it is happening, it removes all the type because dynamically it is taking, right? Okay, then why we need write here? What is the use to write here? Finally, it is removing actually everything for the developer convenience. So developer discipline, it is writing. So anywhere you can, if you use the tags and after 10 lines, if you come for that declaration, you can see, okay, this is a number. This is for the development purpose only. So actually this type and all explicitly we need to declare in TypeScript. This is the another different. So the dynamic declaration there, here we need to explicitly we need to tell the type here. So this is the thing. And let's see the another one also. See here for enum, actually directly you tell the enum and assign some color. So based on the index, if you print this one, it will say 1 because green is the second. So first in the second index, the 1. Okay, so 1 will be displayed here. But if you want to write enum in JavaScript, so how it is complicated. See, the enum is in C# and other programming languages, we are using very easily. But in JavaScript, it doesn't support. That's why actually we need to write some complicated code. That's why JavaScript is a very, very beautiful thing and dynamic one. But when we write, some roundabout way. Okay, so this is the data type. So through this slide, what we need to understand, if you declare one variable means we need to assign that value in TypeScript. Okay, this is the difference between JavaScript and TypeScript. So next slide actually, so Jayan question will be revealed here. So here, where let const. Okay, in JavaScript, we see all the whatever you declare in TypeScript, finally it actually transpiled to where only. Okay, but there how we can see the scope level. If you scope level in C# we know, right? So within the scope, we will local variable, global variable, right? So for that concept only we have these three things. So in const it's different. So we cannot change. If you declare one variable as with one number means after that we cannot change. That is the different. The main difference with the where and the const means that only we are going to see. The where is the function scope. Function means within the function, what are all you are writing. If in the first line, if you declare where a is equal to 1, 2, 3, in the all the place, that value only will be visible here. So in this example, what I have written a equal to 1, 2, 3. After that, we create one block here, small block. Here again I declare a. Okay, which value will be here? So 4, 5, 6. Because the same a only here. Even though again I declare where, the same a only will be here because where means is global scope. The same thing I have written here. but let I have declared instead of where I have declared let. But when we come to here, if you in B, this B 123 inside of the function, another B is 456. Which value will be displayed after that here? So 126 only, because this lifetime is over within this curly brackets. Okay, so if you come to outside here, so if you print any console log after this 456, that will show only 456 only, because still this B is alive. Okay, but when you come outside, that B only will be taken consider. Okay, then let's execute this code and find more detail. Okay, I transpile. The first two lines belongs to where. That's why I put where here. So where the first console log is inside of the where. Inside of where is the 456. I change the a value 123 to 456. That value only visible here. So even though I came out from this particular scope, still that value only available, because the A is the global scope. Okay, that's why it shows the 456. But in context, in here, I declare as a B is a let year. So this lifetime available after this scope also. So, but if you come to this block, this B is declaring 456. You are declaring B again, but this is different from this B, because this scope is a lifetime for this B. That's why even though even you came out from this scope, this 456 not available, because 456 actually expired after this closing bracket. So when you came out from the scope, what available that value, the B value, the same thing is available here. So this is the difference between where and let. Just you understand, whatever you declare the where, that is the global. Within the function, anywhere you can use the same value, but let means, so within that scope only, within that if condition or for, you need that variable. After that, that value is not necessary, means you go for let. Now let's go for that scope here. See, here, even though we write everything actually let and where, here always it's try to use the where only. So here, even though you use the same variable, if you use the same B here, then there is no difference between where and let, right? That's why here it is using the same value here. But here we have used B only. So if you see here, same B only here and here we are using. A only we are using here, but it actually it retains the same here, but here it gives some other name to avoid the confusion. Okay, so this is the primary thing for JavaScript. Always it convenient with only where. So for some extent, actually, I haven't tried this one JavaScript. Let's type something here. As Jane said, because if you give let explicitly, what will happen now? Actually, it says some error.
Yeah. And could you please Try the const also. So how it is compiled?
Yeah, const. Okay, let's compile that one. We need not change again because once you change here, automatically that new file will be created, the JavaScript file. So const, let me first explain. So const actually T1, so 200 we are giving. So if you change try to change some value, not even go for compilation. This time itself, developing time itself, it will say. So this is a constant, so we cannot change. So even though you run, the same error will be displayed here. So const is very straightforward. That's why I haven't. But anyhow, let's compile this one. DSC scope. Okay, let's go for here. So here always it takes the where only. So so this is the difficulties. Then how we can set const value in JavaScript. So just assume that we are adamant. I am going to use only JavaScript for my development, Angular development. So this and all very confusion, right? So here there is very straightforward scope.
Yeah, it is really very strange actually.
Yeah, yeah.
So the final one actually, James Sarka, could you please write a function and inside the function, could you please try like
Jayan,
function? Yeah, so that
Jayan, yeah, I think the TS config is targeting to ES5, not ES6. That is the reason it is trying to like all renaming all the let to where.
okay, okay, okay.
So if you are updating the TS config, then it will be like fine.
Okay.
Target property. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, shall we? Right? Let's change ES6. Okay, so actually in a TS config, if we change anything, we need to close the project and open again. Then only it will take effort. Okay, then we continue. But still it's showing the same thing. Okay, let's try this one offline. So because we have several topic here. So, but anyhow, so there is a big difference between JS and TS while we're writing. So in class and all, while we are going to write the class, right? Then and all we will see the difference. Some more effort we need to take in JavaScript. That's why that's the main reason. This is the main difference between Angular 1 and Angular 2 versions. So in after certain limit in Angular 1, they cannot implement actually more features. That's why they decided that okay, let's develop a new thing that is very related to other object-oriented programming language. Same syntax. If you see here, so same syntax, right? In C Sharp, Python, or PHP, almost same syntax. What you are going to see in the next slide and all, so same thing. So you are not actually frustrated. See, this is a new thing and all. Already we have I have tried this one C Sharp. Same things only. Even in enum and everything same, right? So that's the thing. Okay, we have several things, but I thought that complete within one session, but it takes time. Okay, but when you with all our understanding about this thing, if you go for Wrangler means it will have more knowledge. That's why I taken this one. Otherwise, initially I had that have idea to teach this TypeScript, but this is good. Okay, so hereafter only we have very specific features for TypeScript. So here we have all are related to functions. For functions, actually you will pass some parameter, number of parameters and optional parameter, default parameter, that and all already we have in C#. But here something specific new, actually REST parameter. That and all we will see, and the array function. Actually, in JavaScript, you will call array only, not lambda. But anyhow, for your understanding, I put here. So array function we have, and function overloading. So we have that and all we'll see. Okay, so here we have parameters. So this is very familiar only. So there is no nothing new here. So I have written on function, that employee function. Just we are passing ID and name. Just we are going to display those value. So I am calling here. So nothing fancy here. Let's execute this one. Right. So same code only I have. PC function. Okay, this is nothing fancy here. Let's see the JavaScript here. So here, so dynamically it is the as per the data type is a very dynamic assignment, right? So here it doesn't have any explicit value. That is the different. Nothing more on that. Next one, so optional parameters. So I hope everyone you are familiar with optional parameters, no? So actually, why I am telling this and all here means in JavaScript this and all new. Not this is new for other programming language. In JavaScript internally it is handling, but not from our convenient way. Convenient way how you used in other object-oriented programming. The same way we cannot use roundabout way. Let's see the code. The same code we are going to explain, execute, and see the code in JavaScript. Don't bother about the JavaScript code at all. For understanding only, I am showing. Don't fear about that one. Directly, we are going to use only TypeScript only. Okay. So let's go for the thing. This is the optional parameter, right? So optional we have. So let's run. Okay, the same code only. And okay, so here you can see this twice I have called this function. The first time I given all the values. This second time I haven't given that email address. How it is handling inside we are handling, it is true. So nothing we check means the true. So mail ID is not null actually. So not null means it will console value. The control will go inside and execute the value. For the second one, since this is null, so we haven't given anything, right? So null, so it checks whether it is null or not null or not. This is null, so it won't execute the code. But actually, for our convenient, this one. Okay, so if you pass the value, it will declare. Otherwise, just I remove this one and show the different. So what will happen? So mandatorily we need to pass mail ID. Otherwise, the second one should show error. So it is telling the error, right? But if you write the same code in JavaScript, no, just it take okay, but it will show error for that mail ID the inside. But here we have discipline here, we have validation here. If we don't pass any value, you ask us to pass. To overcome that one, we will use this optional parameter. So let's once again we will execute this code and verify the code in JavaScript. Okay, let's go and verify in optional. So here, even though we have mentioned here optional parameter, here there is no that kind of things here. Okay. So this is optional parameter and the default parameter. So default parameter means if you provide any value means what the value I need to pass on. So that's why we are telling here. So actually the name, so optional parameters is the name here. So age and number we are displaying here. If I mention 10 and Raja means it will display name as a Raja. But if I pass only the age and some empty string or don't pass means let's see the result. So default we have. Okay, it is passing. Let's try with other name. I'll say empty. So since I give empty string, it shows. Otherwise, if I give some name, no, it will display. Okay, so this is the usage for. Okay, let's go to next topic. Okay, this is somewhat important. You may not know this one. So rest parameter. Okay, so parameter means so you know actually what we are going to pass for name. Rest of the parameters actually you don't know. So what will come? Maybe set of numbers. Five numbers we need to pass, and finally you need to count those number and print means you need to pass another five values, right? Okay, so five different values, so six parameter you need to pass. But here what we are doing here, ram I am passing the next parameters actually directly I am passing here, but I am receiving through only one variable here, so nums with three dots. This is the convention actually. With three dots, the variable means that is a rest parameters. So if you pass the function calling, if you pass any number of time, not only five, maybe 7, 10, any number of time you can pass the value. Those value will be actually here we need to write this function. Okay, so automatically it will do anything. What we are, how we are going to use those numbers. So I am summation of all this number and tell summation of the product or number I am showing here. Okay, so this is a situation. So if you need to pass some numbers, but you don't want to receive with individually means you can go for this rest parameters.
Can we pass num with string?
Yeah, that also you can pass, but if you pass like that, so you cannot sum like that. So it will based on passing number in within function, you need to change the logic. Okay, but let's say execute that one. So along with this number, we will pass one variable. Let's see. So rest parameter, right? So just say forward, the name we passed, the RAM is displayed. So another 4 number I passed, that summation of this thing. So as far as on mentioned, I add what we can add. See A, I am adding here. This will concatenate instead of plus how we can plus the character, right? I think that that will concatenate. See 86. So up to this number it concatenated one by one, added actually. But since this is a string or a character, it concatenate. This is the behavior of JavaScript, right? But any language, even C# also, it will just add concatenate with the value, not plus. Okay, so this is the thing. So if you pass means based on that you need to divide the logic. So that is in our end only.
So in that case, we need to add when we are using the parameter as a rest. So we need to pass the type as a any, correct?
Yeah, any. Yeah, in this case, actually, this any only.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
any
Thank
only. Actually, arrow function. So this is actually arrow function is some shorthand notation. People will say, right? So in normal function, you will have the function keyword and open, close bracket, and that we have, right? But here we need not use that function keyword and that. So let's see that only. Okay, so for arrow. Okay, I named it lambda here. So normally we will have function, and this and all open parenthesis and close parenthesis also, right? So instead of writing somewhat more syntax, so this is the shortened the thing. So this variable act as a function. Okay, and we are calling, so we are showing. But in this lambda function, actually arrow function and all, when your function size is very minimal, then only it will be useful. For longer and all, it is not needed to go for. Okay, so this is the main purpose. Okay, same thing, English is available. Okay, I am curious to see how JavaScript done this. So finally, so it in normal as a normal function, it converts.
Sorry, Naka, could you please back to the code?
Sure.
We are writing the variables. Okay.
Actually,
In that case,
different. Hmm.
yeah, in that case, sometimes we are using after the type, so we are using the array like that symbols, correct? Would you please tell me why?
Which one you are telling?
For example, go to the previous rest parameters because that one is a good example. Rest, yeah. So
Okay.
here line number 2, so we are not adding the types, correct?
Hmm.
So if you are adding the type colon any or
Okay.
numbers, so they are adding some square brackets. Could you please tell me why they are adding the square brackets? Like after the nums, could you please add colon?
Okay. Type you want to mention here.
Yes, colon any or number. Yeah. Okay. And after that, they are mentioning something like square array of square brackets.
Okay.
Yeah. So could you please tell me why they are adding the square brackets? Any intentionally why they are adding or any purposes? I don't know about this one, so that's why.
That is almost inbuilt for the actually the rest means what is that? Rest means rest of the parameters can contain any number of parameters, any number of value can come, right?
Okay.
So here we need not mention anything because definitely is going to be the array kind of things, right? So
Okay.
yeah, that's why we haven't mentioned any here.
Okay. 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 Then
Okay,
fine.
so
Yeah.
that is a inbuilt, that is understandable, right? The rest means that is the thing. More than one,
Okay.
The line number 7 says nums equal to yeah, right. This seems like array.
nums, this one,
Yeah.
yeah. So this is array like object, right?
Mm.
So that's why I am telling. So since it's array, we are using that index kind of thing, right? For not
Okay.
integer, we cannot use, right? So by default, this is array kind of things.
Okay.
That is understandable only, Jay, and this one. So that's why we need not go for explicitly. We need to tell compiler this is any or any other thing. So this is inbuilt. The array is a inbuilt for number of things. That's why we are going for num. So if you know
Okay.
if two more parameters going to come means we can declare it like name, string kind of things. We can go for that. But definitely definitely it's more than what is going to come. That time only we need to go for this kind of array. This nums is a rest parameter is a array like object. That's why people will say. Okay.
Okay. Fine. And one more question. So if you are not mentioning the type, it's showing a error or it's showing a warning?
In TypeScript, if you mention any data type, right?
Yeah. So in the first one, we are mentioning the string, and the second one, we are leave it as a blank, correct? So
Yeah.
in this, yeah, conditions, it will be throwing a error or it will showing the warning.
Nothing will show. Actually, it will take as a any.
Okay.
Okay. So let's take this one. As a any, actually.
Okay.
Okay. So by default is a any. So we will see that also. Actually, we have a slide for that. How JavaScript actually where it takes for all the actually in JavaScript actually we have any type for all those things. Unless until you assign the any value, that is any type only. If you assign 10, then only explicitly it will say this is the number. So JavaScript is anything understandable within the inbuilt thing. Okay. So in TypeScript, actually everything we need to mention, but if you don't mention by default, that is any. That
Okay.
can be array or object or anything we can use. If you don't know the type, your confusion means don't bother about that. You leave as it is. But we need to mention any is the convenient because for other developers or compilers easily can understand that that will can accept any number of data type. Okay. So that is the thing. But recommendation people what will say on code review and all part what people will say means we need to declaratively we need to tell the type. Okay, so that is the thing. Even here we are seeing right this function means should return some value, right? So actually we haven't written any thing here. So here we can say so return type. So if you return something, so return so see, you are returning string here. Okay. So your number here you are say string. But before we haven't tell anything right here. Then now it automatically understands. So I am returning something, but simply it it is okay because return type even though we don't mention any return type by default TypeScript takes any is a type for return type for this function. Okay, so let's discuss after that. Since you asked, I explained this. Next, actually, function overloading. Okay, this only we will see. Up to this, we will stop because already we have reached 4 o'clock. Okay, so function overloading, like other programming language, is same, but here a bit different in function overloading. Let's see the different. So let me explain about that. You know the what is the function overloading? So same name, but different number of the parameters or different kind of signature. So only one parameter. So even you can see here, this amount function, we have only one parameter, but first one is the number, second one is the string. So this is different. If you mention the same rate is a number, means it will show the error because this is a duplicate function. Okay. So here we have rate function already exists, but we have one more parameter. So it differs from it. So this is the function overloading. But normally in other programming language, what you will do, you will write each function with the full body, right? But here in TypeScript, we cannot write like that. Instead, you can write only one function, but you can call by different signature or different number of parameters. Okay, but within the function, you need to handle the situation. So do you understand what I am trying to tell? So in C# what I will write here, amount rate. So rate means what I need to display. This is the number kind of things we will display here. But in TypeScript, that is different. So here I have written only one function. So here I am calling the first one. I am calling the first function. This function I am calling this. Four functions I am calling here. How we have handled the situation? So based on type here. So rate, why I put any here? Because we have four functions. In one functions, accept rate as a string, but other than all number. So here confusion. So concretely, I don't know. So which can come? That time I am go for any here. Okay. So that's for that confusion. Actually, I am add all the any here. Actually, we have the union function, and I will explain more about that because since rate I know only number or string only going to come. So instead of any, we can use number, string. Like this also we can go. Okay, so but so in future people will add another function with Boolean means how we will handle. So that's why this kind of situation we can go for any. But any is costly. So even though you see this is simple, for compiler purpose this is costly because compiler for each and every check you should check the its value. That is the headache for compiler. For developer purpose, easily we can use. But if you tell this is a number only, means it won't check any other thing. Directly go for execution for the number. Okay. So what I am going to, how I am handling all these four functions. So I am checking the discount. The last one is the number means. So let's come with the first one. The first one rate only I am giving. So I am checking here. This one, the number means I tell actually. So I am passing the 100 here. Okay. So we have four functions with the same name. So which function will be executed? Since this is a number, this only should be executed. Okay. So when it comes controller here, how will check? Okay, so it will check discount. Actually, number only we are passing here. So others and all normally undefined or undefined. But in this function, the first function only now it will executed here. So if it comes, control comes here, discount is no more available here because we are calling this amount. Here we have only one parameter. Even though you come for this common function, there won't be discount here. That's why the type, which type I am getting here. So the type is, the discount type is number. Number means it will execute. But in our case, the first case, why it won't be executed? Because that is not available. We haven't passed. That's why it will pass here. And tax. Here I haven't passed tax also. Okay, so this function won't be executed here. So now it comes here. Rate. It's a number actually. this one will be called. So this only executed. Okay. So let's execute this function. I share this file with you. Just you give TSE and see verify the JavaScript file and see the difference. This only bit different between different from other programming language. So 100. Okay, amount is 100. Okay. So let's execute this only. So amount is 100 because we are passing the string. Okay. But type of is the actually one of the function. It will check the type of the particular variable or parameter. So it checks actually. We passed only the tax, right? The rate only we passed. So here there is no rate. Here there is no rate. Here rate is there, but we are passing string. That's why this part also not executed. Finally, it came to this here, the else part. Otherwise, we can write one more if condition. Type of rate is string means it will be executed. Okay, this is how the function actually overloading is working. So with that, we conclude the session. So now it's a question part. So if you have any question, you can ask. Or next session you can ask, or offline you can come to my place, we can ask the question. So I thought to complete all those things actually here after very some important topics and some interesting topics, maybe take another 20 minutes, I hope. Okay, not we are not going to cover now, so we can have next Thursday.
So I want to check something in offline. So
Offline,
how
correct.
so when I write the interface in the TS file, how it display in JavaScript?
Okay. Actually, in that file, I copied all those things. So interface also we are available. So we have interface, right? So just you go and here just TSE interface and go on to check. If you compile successfully, go on to check here. So interface we have. So the interface and all you go on to check. Okay. So I share this file with today presentation. So in your free time, you execute our already covered area, and in new area also, if you are interested, you are execute the new file also. Let's discuss in next class. So if you have any question, let's please free to ask.
Instead of type of we can directly check with the discount equal to null. That
No.
way, what is the different? Why we should go with the type of? Is there any costlier operation?
No. Actually, this only, right? Actually, you are telling that actually we are.
I like.
So
I don't need type of, and we can check with the discount equal to null, not equal to null, then process this condition.
Not equal to null. Yeah, that is also one of the way, but this is very concrete way. Actually, not equal to null only sometimes undefined, some other things and all thing. But you want to check. So another thing. So not equal to null as well, it should be number means then only we can go for some numeric operation, right? So that kind of time. So the proper type we need to check. That is advisable only. Not equal to null also we can go. Not equal to null or undefined. So that and all we can check here. But this is a concrete type. So just to come out here, we can check that not null, that and all. But if you want to do some numeric operations, that time it will show some other error if it is a string, right? So if they give instead of some they give some string value means that time that is not null, that is not undefined, that also will come inside. So this is a proper way. Okay, then thank you guys. I share this file. the presentation and this project file. Easily you can execute. If you find any difficulties to run this file, compile or execute, please reach me through online or offline. I am happy to help you. Next class, we will cover the first 20 to 30 minutes, this one. After that, directly we can go for the Angular main building blocks. Okay. Okay, thank you guys.